who Cody calls out to even the odds. Let's get into AEW Full Gear happening on the 18th, this Saturday, I believe it is. Big time show at the Forum for AEW out there. MJF is the talk of the town, pulling double duty. We still don't know his tag team partner for the ROH Championship against the Guns, and then turning around and facing Jay White at the end of the night. We also have Sting and Darby Allin and Edge versus Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. That going on as well. John Moxley versus Orange Cassidy.
Adam Copeland.
Oh, my bad.
Edge.
Oh, my bad.
Edge retired.
My bad, Tony Khan. My bad.
Edge retired. Gotta get that right.
My bad, Tony Khan. My bad. We have Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland in the Texas Death Match. The Golden Jets, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, and the Young Bucks. Oh, wait, nope, I read that wrong. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks as well. I guess it's for the number one contendership that the Young Bucks have there.
It's for the number one for the Young Bucks' title shot, and if the Bucks win, then Jericho and Omega can't team up anymore.
And when did it turn into the Bucks
Tony Storm for the AEW?
Sorry,
so what did you say, Lewis?
I said, when did it turn into the Bucks versus Kenny and Jericho?
I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago on Dynamite. I think the Bucks had confronted them backstage, and the Bucks were pretty much like mad at Kenny because they felt like he was doing too much stuff with Jericho, and he needed to be more focused on the elite group and doing elite things. So I guess they're pretty much fed up. They're fed up with the tag team, and then they threw out the challenge.
That's interesting.
Oh man, Don Callis is somewhere lurking with that screwdriver.
I mean,
he's out there.
I mean, his family. They just main evented Dynamite with that eight-man tag match that was sponsored by a new Sega game that's coming out. So, but yeah. So they.
What do you guys think about Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland versus Christian, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne? Apparently, Ric Flair is coming out with Sting and Darby Allin. After that segment last week with Edge, and Christian, and Ric Flair. Sorry, my bad.
All right, so Ric Flair is going to be coming out with Sting and everyone. I guess, obviously, you see the nostalgia with that, but as far as this story goes, with Adam Copeland,
it's the last Monday Night Nitro, folks.
yeah, those two, yeah. But it's just, I'm like, I don't know. See, I've been very underwhelmed with Adam Copeland since he's come to AEW.
Yeah.
Like when he first came, he had the impact. He had the impact of him signing, and it was around the same time that Jade had gone to WWE. So there was a lot of buzz in the wrestling industry, and everybody was kind of waiting for that episode of Dynamite for him to finally debut. And then that kind of tied into the whole Tuesday Night War with NXT and Dynamite when he made his match debut. So all this hype was surrounding it. But ever since his debut match, like things have like dropped off tremendously. Like this story isn't even about Adam Copeland and Christian anymore. Like this story has literally turned into Sting's last hurrah. Like that's literally how they've been booking this 6-man. It's been booked around Sting and Christian. It should be Adam Copeland and Christian, which was how the story started. So it's pretty the whole dynamics of the whole story have changed, and I don't think it's been for the better. Like Adam Copeland has definitely cooled off since he's debuted, and I mean it's a multi-man AEW 6 match, so you're expecting your daily dose of organized chaos, maybe a little less because Sting is in the match, but then again you got crazy ass Darby Allin who apparently everybody thinks he's not going to make it to the age of 30 now, and he had some words to say about it. So So as far as this actual match goes, it's gonna be entertaining. There's gonna be a lot of story elements to it. I mean, Sting, Adam Copeland, and Christian are vets. So they'll definitely know how to structure the match properly. But the whole story going into it is very very underwhelming.
Again, another just multi-man match
because it's changed. It's changed from Edge wanting to team with Christian to him wanting to get revenge against Christian to now him helping Sting fight Christian. And it's like, I don't know why that's the perfect foil. I don't feel like that's the perfect foil right now for Christian right now, but I feel like they're just looking at it. We don't want Edge to just beat Luchasaurus and then just face Christian.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're trying to actually build that backstory through it, through Christian just doing heinous shit. And I feel like that's what they're going to be looking at to do, and then eventually we're going to get that one-on-one.
See, and here's the thing about it: if they do the one-on-one with Adam Copeland and Christian, obviously, us as fans, we're going to enjoy it. But this is the same company that I think it was Chris Jericho who said that, like, when AEW first started, that you weren't going to get matches like that, like veterans against veterans, or like a Chris Jericho versus an Adam Copeland, or Chris Jericho versus a Christian. You said he had said that you were going to get a lot of mixture of the veterans and the new talent. So if the ultimate goal is to get Adam Copeland and Christian, doesn't that kind of like go against what the whole company was supposed to stand for when they started?
Yeah.
I mean, well, they signed 90 50-year-olds.
and they're doing that on top of it too, which makes
like a 50-year, isn't Christian 50 or up there close to 50?
Something like that.
So, yeah.
Hey, it looks good for his age.
And now he's fighting Sting, goddammit.
It was in the 60s.
Now he's fighting Sting. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like they kind of backed themselves into a corner and didn't really know what to do. But I thought Adam Copeland versus Christian wrote itself, and they can kind of just build everything around that. Maybe this is just a subplot for it, but
he's
it's going to be interesting to see what they do going forward. He's right at 50. I guess he's one of the young guys.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's just crazy because like Edge is up there. And then you add Ric Flair to it. It's like, okay, like
Jesus.
Edge. I feel like Edge doesn't need all that fluff around him.
Yeah,
and that's not to say Sting and Darby Allin is, but I feel like Edge was there to stand on his own. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What do you guys think about MJF pulling double duty here and his whole storyline there of will he, won't he team with Samoa Joe and this whole thing with Jay White?
See, actually, me and Lewis and I were actually talking about this before we started recording about MJF and his current booking right now in AEW, and they have really like overexposed him, and when you look at like the last couple of weeks, it's like MJF against the world. Like, I mean, he's in like three or four different feuds, and they're all being featured on television
at the same time.
At the same time, this man's in the feud. He's feuding with Jay White in the Bullet Club and the Bullet Club Gold. He's feuding with Wardlow. Wardlow, they just showed a package of Wardlow talking about how he's coming for MJF. He's feuding with Samoa Joe, whether or not they're going to be friends or not. You still got Adam. You still have Adam Cole out there with the friendship, or Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. So you still have that going on out there.
Yeah,
well, he's in like four different feuds right now, and they're showing them all on TV, overexposing the hell out of him. And it's like MJF is like your top. Not only is he your top guy, but he honestly is the number one reason why people tune in to see Dynamite right now. But besides maybe Tony Storm in the women's division right now. But he's the top guy, and similar. I know, obviously, Roman Reigns and MJF, two completely different talents, two completely different ways of booking, two completely different levels right now. But you see what they do with Roman. They make Roman special to the chagrin of a lot of people that want a world champion on their roster every week. But they make Roman special. by not showing him every week, not overexposing him, and then when he does show up, it's a special occasion. With MJF now, it's like they're slowly
to the point where he's only
killing it. It's slowly like killing his appeal, and he makes up for it because he's such a great character. But how much longer is he going to be able to make up for it if they keep booking him that way? But as far as
until they add the new signee this Saturday,
Dolph.
See, I mentioned that. I feel like, see, it has to be. See, I shared the tweet from Tony Khan where he pretty much said that like this is somebody that AEW fans universally respect and such. So I just hope it's not Sasha Banks. Just please, not Mercedes Moné. Please, no.
Why not?
Why not?
That's
because as much as it would be great to see her, now that Vince is no longer in charge of creative, that issue needs to be resolved with her in WWE. We don't know what happened, but obviously it involved Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is not there anymore. So you would think one phone call, one sit down would be able to work everything out. And I just feel like AEW's women's division is already suffering right now, and they desperately would need a Mercedes Moné, but their division is so garbage right now that she'll add to it, but like her and Toni Storm, and then what? It's just be like, I don't know. It's just that I don't think there's enough there for her, as opposed to what's going on in WWE right now.
Yeah, if their roster highlighted more women's stories, yeah, it probably would be more appealing. But right now, it's like you literally get one women's match per show, so it's like, and then it's usually the same stuff. It's usually the Toni Storm stuff, or it's usually the Ruby Soho stuff, I guess, or even only on Rampage you get the TBS championship, which is hardly ever defended. So it's like, yeah, I would like maybe it would.
Who has a match at Full Gear?
Maybe it would elevate the women's division a bit. Maybe give them more exposure by bringing them her, because she's gonna be a giant advocate for them. Like, no, we need more matches, we need more storylines. But we'll see.
I feel like it's going to be Sasha Banks because they desperately need somebody for the women's division. And it's something where they can actually bring up that demographic, bring up that viewership where it's like, we need something else because obviously all these guys are getting hurt. MJF has been carrying the show, yes, but we need something else to bring eyes to the product. And even if that can jumpstart the women's division, which is obviously a glaring disparity right now, even though, as Brian said, like, the AEW's women division hasn't been taken care of, hasn't been doing the right things. Maybe Sasha Banks can be the person that comes in there and change things for them. And maybe that's what she's looking at. It's an opportunity to showcase herself, kind of like Trinity went to Impact and did and transformed herself down there. Maybe Sasha Banks can come in here, be new. My bad. Mercedes Moné, come in and be different for AEW and lead that division and really start something down there, because they have talent in the women's division, obviously, but they just haven't been used correctly. So it's going to be interesting to see if she's going to be signed. Outside of that, I just think of another New Japan pro wrestler. I don't think anybody else could sign there and be different for them to that magnitude that Tony Khan put out there. So I don't know who else could it be.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw the tweet that he sent out. Now Mercedes Moné, I think she's still recovering from that ankle injury, correct?
Yeah.
So based upon the nature of the tweet that he sent out, it definitely seemed like he was going to sign somebody that's available like next week. Now, is Mercedes Moné still enough of an impact signing wherein if it was her and she signed the contract and she was going to be out for another 3 months, you think that would like suffice and still be exciting enough?
Yeah, she's a big enough star that even if they had to wait, people would still look forward to it a lot.
I mean, if they built it up and said she's appearing at World's End or in January or AEW Revolution, I think they could kind of milk it and kind of build towards that. But I don't know. I don't see anybody else right now that they could sign. Probably again somebody from New Japan. I mentioned it earlier. Maybe a Tanahashi who's looking to wrap up his career and come stateside. Maybe it's Okada. I don't think, as Brian said earlier, I don't think New Japan Pro Wrestling would do that. So outside of those two, I don't know anybody else who they can sign that will garner Tony Khan putting out an announcement like that.
The Rainmaker is New Japan. So that's
for sure.
The Rainmaker is New Japan. So that's why when you said Okada, I said absolutely not. But if there is,
they got Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, which they haven't done a damn thing with besides put him in multi-man matches since they've signed him. It's ridiculous. Now there is one match that I am
on All Gear.
There is one match on the card that I am looking forward to, and it's more so because of the face-to-face promo segment that they had on Dynamite tonight before we started recording, and that's Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page which is now a Texas Death Match. Which I'm glad they put some stipulations on it, because this feud has been personal enough where it needed something like that. I mean, anytime you have any angles where people are going to other people's houses, it has to be more personal at that point. And the crazy thing about the promo dude that they had on Dynamite tonight, Swerve didn't say a damn thing. It was all Hangman. Hangman pretty much just came out and pretty much just let it all out. Pretty much saying how personal this is for him, about how he started mentioning personal things about Swerve's life, talking about that's why your fiance left you because you're so full of shit as a person. And then when you talk about how he crossed the line when he came to his house, and talking about how me and my son will walk hand in hand, and my son is gonna end up pissing on your grave when I'm done with you, and it's personal now. And it was all this thing, man. And I guess apparently they had the stipulation saying that if during this face-to-face, if there was any physical confrontation, both men would be suspended and the match would be called off. But then Hangman said, "Yeah, that's me and you. That's not Prince Nana though."
Yeah.
So then Hangman started attacking Prince Nana, and obviously Swerve couldn't do anything about it because he couldn't get physical. And then security came in and separated everybody, which I thought was creative. But that feud,
I mean,
I've loved it because now we're seeing Swerve at a whole nother level now, and they desperately needed that one guy to finally step up, and that's been Swerve. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now it's definitely good to see Swerve getting that spotlight in AEW, basically creating somebody. It's not a Jungle Boy. It's not Sammy Guevara. It's not these other guys that we've seen in the past that have been on TV a lot. It's actually somebody that they've gotten signed and now building up properly. And he's been trying to find his way there. And now with the Embassy, Prince Nana and all that, and against another being in a top tier match against a guy like Hangman Page, it's gonna be good. And AEW is known for gnarly stuff, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see who gets the win here, because Adam Hangman Page has been kind of trying to regain his footing, and maybe this is a way to propel him back into the main event scene. But this is an opportunity for Swerve Strickland to get that rub, to get that shine, and get to main event level status in AEW for sure. So it's good to see him in that spotlight. For sure. Let's continue here. I think that's about it. We got Kushida versus Tony Storm. Tony Storm has obviously been building this movie star character for the longest time now. What do you guys think about that match?
No, Lewis, you just said it. I'm going to add on to that. It is mandatory for Tony Storm to walk out of the arena with the championship. Like we've been saying, the women's division is struggling right now, and the only bright spot has been her since she started this whole Marilyn Monroe character. I mean, they did a whole segment on Dynamite tonight, where I guess apparently that they had a new signing last week who's supposed to apparently be now a fan of Tony Storm, come in and try to meet her, I guess apparently like Tony Storm was in her gimmick. She was like laying on the couch with cucumbers over her eyes, and Van comes in and says like, oh my God, I'm so glad, I can't believe I'm meeting Tony Storm, and then she's pretty much acting like this fan is like a waste of her time and all that stuff. And then I love the introduction of Luther the Butler, who's a veteran wrestler with who's been, I think he started the same year Chris Jericho did, so him and Chris Jericho have been very tight for a number of years. So I definitely love that aspect to the gimmick. But yeah, it's mandatory that she walks out with this title, because realistically, as much as I like Hikaru Shida as a champion, I mean she's a 3-time AEW Women's Champion, and it's just like, so.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think that should mean something, but it's just like, okay, she's a 3-time Women's Champion and she's great in the ring. Okay,
that last win, I was like, when the hell does she even get the title? And then she like lost it. I was like,
it's like she's the ultimate transition champion.
Yeah, basically.
So, no, that's what she is. She's the ultimate transition champion. If you're a heel and you need someone to beat, just beat Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Tony
It's time for her. It's time for her to pull on a laundry. It's time for her to pull on a laundry blade. Show up on SmackDown, drop the title in the trash, and join Damage Control.
Tony Storm needs to win the title, and this honestly needs to be the beginning of like a very, very, very long reign.
Yeah.
At least
something
until
with dramatics, because she's obviously.
At least until Britt Baker comes back.
Say that again. Sorry.
At least until Britt Baker comes back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, she definitely needs the title, and I feel like something where the women's division hasn't been gaining a lot of traction, and having Tony Storm with her character, and she's been able to develop this mainstream appeal that nobody has really tapped into. So for her to do that and find this character over this time and to continue to build it the way she has, definitely adding the title to her would bring more eyes to it, because she has definitely, at least on the AEW women's division, she's the main attraction right now. Sorry to Shida there, but yeah, Tony Storm needs to get that title. She definitely needs to get that title.
For sure.
Most definitely. That will do it for AEW Full Gear there. That was just Saturday. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, we'll be following along as well. I don't think there was anything else for the week. We saw a couple rumblings there. Obviously, we got a lot of going on with Otis and Shinsuke fighting each other on Raw. Shinsuke having to put like 4 Kinshasas on Otis to take him down, so that was interesting. LA Knight battling Grayson Waller on SmackDown as well. So there's been little ins and outs there, but obviously just trying to build for Survivor Series. We'll see how that happens. We'll see what happens continuing on SmackDown and see what storylines develop there. But that will wrap it up for episode 41 of Ring Takes, guys. As always, thank you guys for joining me. I will wrap this up. If I can find this thing. No, I can't find it. Here we go. Thank you guys for joining me as always.